cursed. Cursed.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula.
I saw the boogeyman. I saw him outside.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of Tomb of Terrors with me, Old Man Brad. Whether you are new to the show or returning for another episode, thank you so much for giving me a listen. If you love the show, drop me a review on your favorite podcast app or become a patron, patreon.com/oldmanbrad. Also, make sure you follow me over on Letterboxd so you can see all the watches I do. Well, I'm back with another interview. I'll be talking about I Live Here Now, which is written and directed by Julie Pacino, and I have an interview with Julie, which I can't wait for you all to hear. So before we dive into I Live Here Now, if you're in the Cincinnati area, come out to Frightful Fridays on the third Friday of the month. So thankful to be partnered with the Esquire Theater to host a horror screening once a month. We just had a screening last month for Blood and Black Lace. Really good turnout. The movie was fabulous up on the big screen, looked great. And this month, we're going to finish off our Italian run to start off the year. And we're going to be doing Lucio Fulci's Don't Torture a Duckling from 1972. I'm excited for you guys to see that up on the big screen on March 20th at 10 p.m. Come out and let's watch a movie together. Also happening that weekend in Cincinnati is Horror Hound Weekend. So come to the Sharonville Convention Center for a full weekend of awesomeness, including many great indie films, March 20th to the 22nd. All right, let's talk I Live Here Now.
You won't remember a thing.
But I feel it. I can feel it.
What's wrong?
Hey Rose, this is Georgie from Cindy Abrams' office. She may have an audition for you.
Your resume is quite impressive. If you were 21.
What are these?
Nothing, it's just my grounds.
You're into this kind of shit?
I don't know. Could be fun.
Oh, I get it. My queen.
Can you lose 3 pounds by Monday?
What's the part?
A thinner woman.
I need to see you.
I'm pregnant. What do you want?
I see lots of other things here. Multiple traumas, depression, anxiety.
Let me handle it, dear. Something like this could really kill a career.
I just saw the vacancy sign come on for the Crown Inn.
How may we help you?
I heard there's a room.
Indeed there is.
A woman finds herself trapped in a remote hotel where the violent echoes of her past come alive, blurring the lines between her darkest nightmares and the waking world. Written and directed by Julie Pacino, this stars Lucy Fry, Madeline Brewer, Cheryl Lee, Sarah Rich, Matt Rife, and others. I'll tell you right up front, I absolutely love this movie. I have watched it twice since I received the screener for it. It's done some festival runs, including Fantasia. It played at Beyond Fest and other festivals. And now it is kind of making the rounds of theaters, kind of doing showings. I know the day this drops, it's playing at the Roxy Theater in New York. Here in Cincinnati, it will be playing at the Woodward Theater on March 23rd. So another thing to do that weekend from the 20th now through the 23rd, you have Don't Torture a Duckling, Horror Hound Weekend, and go see I Live Here Now. But this movie is a movie just full of so many layers, so much going on, so much to interpret, so many things to think about. Like I said, I've watched it twice, picked up things I didn't notice the first time when I saw it the second time. This is one of those that I do hope it eventually gets physical media because I would love to own this to be able to kind of dig into it even more. But I'll talk more about the film after we dive into our interview with Julie. So let's move over to that, my chat with Julie Pacino, and I will talk to you on the other side. My guest today takes us on a surreal ride in her feature film debut, I Live Here Now. I'm excited to welcome in writer-director of the film, Julie Pacino. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well. This movie, there are a lot of layers to it and a lot of pieces that you could just either interpret or dive into. What inspired you for the idea for this movie?
Well, it started as a short that I wrote in 2020, and during COVID, it was June, so we had been all kind of locked inside for a while, and I wrote this short about a woman who was trapped inside of an Airbnb. And, it was just this little thing that me and my friends were going to make because we were all itching, creatively to just collaborate. And so that's how it started. And then the ideas, I just sat with the ideas and the feelings, and I started kind of thinking about ways in which I was trapped in myself and, sort of internally and sides of myself that I hadn't really come face to face with. And then, it was evident that there was a lot more here than just a short film. And it just snowballed and became a feature-length script.
I've actually watched it twice.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
There's a lot to it. It's a lot to dig into it.
Watching a movie twice is a lot to ask. I appreciate it. Yes.
And you can tell it's a very personal story. You can feel that in the film. Were there any moments that were very difficult for you to do as you were filming it?
Oh yeah, the opening sequence with young Rose, and that kind of comes back throughout the movie. I was really, really tough. I was disassociating all day. I kept on having to take little breaks and meditate. That was really, really challenging because it was, it's personal and it brought a lot of stuff up when I was writing it, and then when I was on set, that stuff kind of just came to the surface. So luckily, I had a great team around me to carry me through that day. It was a really challenging day. That sticks out as the most intense scene.
And a lot of the look of this, there's a lot of use of color, there's lighting. How did you kind of come up with this look and feel of the movie as we kind of take this ride with Rose?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was in the script because I love using colors to help flesh out characters, and details are really important to me. The production design and the way that the wallpaper was quite feminine, or the sort of jagged scars on the armoire. Like, these are all things that were in the script, and were really exciting for my collaborators to jump in on because of the details. So they really took it to another level. But, everything from the cinematography, Aaron lights a lot of the photos that I take. So there was a visual language already in place with that. And then the production design team was just unbelievable in how they took my sort of proposition that this whole hotel is an allegory for the inside of Rose, and they just took that to another level and planted all sorts of Easter eggs and stuff within the set decoration. With
that, not really I don't think it'll give anything away, but as I was watching it, as you said, things along the way, like there were pieces that kind of felt as though we were in a stage play in a theater.
Cool, yeah. Alice
in Wonderland with little pieces here and there. As you were writing it, did you put that type of stuff into the script? And then it was like, I kind of want this, but not blatantly in their face.
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland was a huge reference and inspiration, just like even structurally, like this girl who's in this sort of ordinary world that then falls down a rabbit hole. And yeah, no spoilers, but like maybe winds up as like the queen of the place by the end. So those things were alive and well during every phase of the process.
I want to kind of speak to your cast, Lucy Fry and Madeline Brewster and Sarah Rich. Like, their characters, very different. How was it working with them and kind of bringing the characters to life?
It was amazing. Lucy was such a brave trooper throughout this whole process. She brought a lot of vulnerability to the character, and that was incredible to watch. And the trust that her and I built together was essential. Sarah Rich and Lara Clear, I've worked with those two on a multitude of short films, so we had that trust, and I love working with them, and I'll work with them on everything that I do. And Maddie Brewer is also someone that I never had worked with before. But she was just so exciting because she had all these ideas for how to make Lillian just this, this absolute gnat and thorn in Rose's side. And she had a lot of fun with the character and the clothes and stuff like that. So I love collaborating with actors, and I lucked out on this one that all the actors in it, from Lucy Fry to Matt Rife to, of course, the great Cheryl Lee, were really on board with that and brought a lot of great ideas to the table.
Sarah Rich, her character Sid, seemed like she was having a blast because she's like this very spunky, lighthearted, semi-comedic relief here and there, but not like in your face. It's
Totally
subtle.
Yeah, no, Sarah and I had fun with the campiness of it all, for sure.
And how did you kind of, because it is a lot of heavy subject matter, but mixing some comedy in there here and there to kind of like bring people back up, like, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you picked up on that. I think that's what's cool about the horror genre, is like being able to like toe that line between comedy and scary shit. And I just like movies that do that. I think it's important. It's an important release throughout, as I'm building the tension and the horror. It's fun to play with these moments of comedy, but always in an intentional way. Like, Sid is comedic relief in a lot of ways because she's playful, because she's sort of like the inner child. And that's kind of how Rose's relationship is with her inner child. We had a blast with it, though. I love quirk. I love camp, and I try to be really intentional about picking those moments, because the journey of healing and self-discovery is heavy and dark, but also there are moments of light and laughter and absurdity that encapsulate the whole journey. So I really am glad that those funny moments resonated with you. On
the other end of things, there's, like you said, a lot of darkness, dark imagery. How did you go about kind of like, okay, we got a little comedy, now we're at this point where we got to bring it down a bit? How did you set that tone?
I mean, I just, really the main thing was that this is my first feature, and I just didn't want to pull any punches. And so if I felt like it was a thing that I needed to express and my collaborators were on board with, that we were really going to push it, and we were really going to not leave any stone unturned, or I knew I wanted to make a film that I could look at and be proud of from start to finish, and not think, oh man, I wish I had pushed it a little bit further, but I was kind of too scared, because I've made that mistake on short films before, and it's really frustrating, because at the end of the day, it is just a movie, and we're not heart surgeons, so what are the stakes really, right?
And this premiered at Fantasia this last summer, and it played some other festivals like Beyond Fest and others. How has the audience response to the film been? It's
been incredible. Yeah. And these festivals we've been at have just, the audiences have been so much fun, typically a very polarizing response and engaging Q&As, just so much conversation afterwards. And that's what I love about it. That's why I make movies and make art, is to connect with people and hear their opinions and hear about their journeys. And this, so far, the festivals we've played at have been amazing for that. I've made a lot of great connections and met a lot of great people.
It's showing at the Roxy tomorrow in New York. And I mean, screening sprinkled. I know in a couple weeks we have one here in Cincinnati. As people are starting to see it, what do you hope audiences kind of take from the movie?
Well, I would like them to take a sense of hope with them and triumph. The movie does deal with some sensitive subjects and gets dark, and as you said, has moments of lightness and comedy. So I hope that audiences will watch it with an open heart and an open mind, and understand that this is not a conventional film. And hopefully by the end of it, even though there's a roller coaster of emotions, you're walking away, feeling whole and happy and excited for for Rose.
We're kind of coming towards the end here. The feature film debut, I look at, you took a big swing. You just went for it. And what's next for you after this?
I'm writing my next movie right now, which I'm very excited about, and deals with the patriarchy, you know, through the eyes of a woman. And it's witchy, it's culty, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Where can people follow along to you to see what you have next, or follow more of I Live Here Now?
Yeah, just follow me on Instagram at Julie Pacino. And I post daily about, you know, we have new screenings popping up all the time. We just got this beautiful 35 millimeter print. So we're going to be taking that across the country. So just follow me there and stay tuned and DM me if you have any questions.
Now, last question for you before we leave. If you could describe the movie in just one word, what would it be?
Pink.
All right. Well, Julie, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to chat with me about I Live Here Now. And I wish you all the best with the movie. Like I said, I've watched it twice. People go see this movie. There are a lot of pieces to this that you can pick out.
Yeah, watch it twice.
Yeah, exactly. I picked out more the second time than I did the first time. So there you go.
Thank you.
I want to thank Julie so much for taking time out of her day to chat with me. It was great getting to talk to her. After we recorded, I asked her a few questions about the movie. They kind of dove just a little bit into the spoiler realm, maybe. So I asked her about a few pieces, and she's like, I think you understood what I was going for. So I got it. I'm so excited. I will tell you, this film is a ride. There are some scenes, even in the interview, you heard what was one of the hardest scenes for her to shoot and to do. Our main character, Rose, she goes through a lot. So it starts out with this girl on a bed, and she starts complaining, I can feel it, in this whole like flashback type of thing before Rose wakes up with her boyfriend, Matt Rife, who does a fantastic job. I really know him because he's a comedian. So I've seen a bunch of his stand-up, and it was nice seeing him. It's a small role, but seeing him in this more of a serious piece. But Rose is an aspiring actress or an actress, and she's working, like getting phone calls, working on headshots. She has an interview for a movie and says, and in this interview, they're like, we need you to lose some weight for the role, this, that. And then she finds out she's pregnant. She calls a doctor to find out about aborting this pregnancy. And they talk about this pill and the pain and everything else, telling her about a place that she could go to while she kind of gets through all this. And the place is called the Crown Inn. And once she gets to the Crown Inn to check in, you know right off the bat, we're in for a ride. Sid, who is at the front desk, played by Sarah Rich, she's kind of like a comic relief. I talked about it in the interview. She's the lighthearted, almost the young, vulnerable side of everything that is going on. She's standing at the front desk with this big grin on her face, looking at the bell you're supposed to ring, and she's sitting there looking at it, kind of hopping up and down, kind of, you could just see like this, almost a little kid energy. Hey, you got to do this, do this, do this. I can't do anything until you do this. So Rose hits the bell, and our kind of the manager of the hotel comes over. They give her a room. And they said they got a special room for her called the Lovin' Oven. I don't want to dive too much. I don't want to, dig through the whole story here, but now she's checked into this hotel. And while she's in the hotel, I mean, there is a lot of surreal imagery that happens in this movie. There's a lot of use of lighting. There are some scenes that feel very, not only lit, but almost framed like a giallo. There are other scenes that play out like a stage play. I say that because you have characters interacting, and then one character just kind of sits in the background as another character comes around a corner. It feels very much like the stage, like they came from behind the curtain and they're talking, and just the way it's set up and the way that the characters are still sitting on screen like we're on a stage. It feels like a stage. It's almost lit like a stage. I really, really loved the different styles in this. There are many styles that make you think of things like Twin Peaks or Oliver Stone's U-Turn. Some of the characters in that gave me a feel of that. Every character has their own little quirkiness. Like I said, Sarah Rich's Sid, She's very energetic. She's very almost that mentality of a young child. She's innocent. She's excitable, happy. She's always smiling. And then comes in Madeline Brewer's Lily, who is more of like the darker side. So there is this yin yang where Sarah Rich's character always wears white. And then we get Lily. She's always in black, but she's always very like devilish, trying to get Rose to do things she may not always do, drinking and other things, to where she's like the devil on her shoulder and the darker side of her. All the while we're going through this film and you get a host of other characters. Before she gets to the hotel, I didn't even mention this. She talks to Matt Rife and his mother, played by Cheryl Lee, who is very wary of this baby, of like, are you sure it's his? And putting her through the ringer kind of thing. While she's at the hotel, she keeps getting calls from the agent for audition tapes, from the mom, because the mom wants her to go to their particular doctor to just make sure this is real, that she's not just trying to do this to try to get money. And then you have this battle that she's having. I mean, this movie deals with so many things like childhood trauma, being alone, anxieties, being in control of your own body, people trying to tell her what to do. And so many, like I said, there's so many layers to this movie. I love how Julie crafted this in this surreal story that has a lot of touches to Alice in Wonderland. There's kind of an eat me, drink me kind of thing. I said stage plays. There's one scene with a hallway full of mirrors that's kind of like a self-reflection piece, and a whole host of other things that I don't want to dive too deeply into, especially with a lot of symbolism going on. There's a door that says anemone on it. I looked it up to find out what its meaning was, as far as that, what it is. It's a flower, but what it symbolizes. This movie is a very high recommend for me. As I've said, I've watched it twice. I picked up more things the second time. There's just so much. And Julie said in the interview that there are a lot of pieces and Easter eggs along the way that they kind of hid in there, that as you watch it, that hopefully people can kind of pick out. Watch for I Live Here Now to see if it plays in your area. I know it'll hit digital and all that soon enough. I'm hoping for a physical media, but I Live Here Now is a very high recommend for me. Not only for the visuals, the type of horror that it goes through, more of a personal story, a dark ride that our character Rose takes from beginning to end. Just a fantastic feature film debut from Julie Pacino. She swung for the fence. I think it paid off. As anyone who listens knows, I like to try to pair a double feature with the movie that I am talking about this episode. And I immediately knew exactly which one I wanted to pair it with. It's another current film, a film that came out last year, Somnium, directed by Rachel Kane. This is kind of I don't want to say a similar story, but there are a lot of parallels between the two films, to where a character in Somnium, Gemma, she lives in LA. She wants to become an actress. And then there is a lot of surreal horror visions and dark elements that happen to her as she takes a journey similar to the way Rose took a journey. So I think Somnium, I Live Here Now would be a great, just dark, surreal, two women on a journey, double feature kind of night. And before I fully head out, I want to tell you about The Running Man. In this fun, high-octane thrill ride, one man turns a deadly game show into the ultimate spectacle by outrunning hunters, dismantling the system, and becoming the hero of a nation addicted to chaos. The new Running Man movie is now available to buy on 4K, DVD, Blu-ray, and digital. I really enjoyed the new Running Man. 100% different from the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. This one follows the book from what I've heard. closer than the other one did. Well, that will do it for this episode of Tomb of Terrors. Thank you so much for anyone who listens. If you're new and you loved it, please subscribe so you don't miss any episodes I do over here, whether it's interview episodes like this, short reviews that I do, other series, Tomb of Terrors versus, and of course, this year, all year long, the year of Paul Naschy, where each month I will be doing a new episode on a Paul Naschy movie. I've had 2 episodes out thus far, Frankenstein's Bloody Terror, The Werewolf versus the Vampire Woman. Up next will be Dr. Jekyll and the Werewolf. And then over on Patreon, I just did Assignment Terror. I have a whole lineup for you for the rest of the year between this show, Patreon, YouTube. It's going to be awesome. I will be back soon with a brand new episode. Just snuggle up in that blanket, turn off the lights, because it's okay to be scared. We'll talk to you later, everybody.